Hey guys, noon on the dot. Very timely today. It is the 17th. I have a lot of energy, a lot of cold brew this morning, 2 classes down. So I have some big news for you. It's very exciting for me. I hope that you're excited about this. Herner Happy Hour is going to be changing big time. So let me step back. You guys rock with these questions. Every week I've been getting, honestly, so many I can't even count at this point. A lot of good ones, very specific. You're all trying to get better. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Love the questions. Problem is, every time you guys ask a question, often it's very specific, and I need more detail to be able to answer it the best way I can. So I've been kind of doing you guys a disservice, honestly, because you'll ask a question and I'll just have to answer it super generally, and I can't really get to the meat of where you're struggling. So here's what I'm doing. I am changing Herner Happy Hour. I am creating an entirely different group for my paid clients. Now, stick with me. It's going to be cheap. So if this is something you'd want to do, it's an option. Herner Happy Hour is basically going to move to this new group in a much more robust format. So especially for my newbies in here who need a little bit more specific guidance, you have very specific questions. I need to know how long you've been teaching, what your certification looks like, where you teach, what the demographic of the people that you teach looks like, what are your goals as an instructor, all of these things to be able to coach you the best way that I can. Right? Like there's no blanket answer. We all teach so differently. We all have totally different goals. And it's really important for me to know that if I'm going to be answering your questions in Herner Happy Hour, which will now be in this new format. So I will no longer do customized coaching in this group. I'm going to say that again. I will no longer do customized coaching in this group. Now, if that's something you're interested in and you have specific questions, I totally want to keep helping you. Honestly, I love it. You guys see me, like I get so excited about this, but I just want to do it in a way that's going to help you and not be like a super general blanket approach. So if it's something you're interested in, this new group, it's going to be called the Cycle Circle Champions, 3 C's, my champions. I know, Amber, I know, it's painful, I know. And here's the thing, Herner Happy Hour is still going to exist in here, but it's going to be different. So what I'm going to do is every week, as always, I will come in here, do these Facebook Lives, but I'm going to pick the topic. So you guys won't be able to just ask your questions unless you're in my other group, in which case I will still very much coach you in there. But from now on, Herner Happy Hour will be a topic that I come up with that I talk about for 15 to half hour. So it's still the same idea. Like I'm still going to be giving you tons of value because I want you guys to grow and change. And I will pick good topics, timely topics, topics that I see you guys talking about a lot. But I can't answer individual questions anymore. That will be reserved for this new group, the Cycle Circle Champions. So rolls off the tongue. So anyways, if you want to join this group, I'm going to put the link in here. You can check out all the details. I'm like really giving so much coaching in there. I want this to be like a journey. So it's going to be 3 months of basically a mentorship, and you're going to be alongside the other people in this group. It'll be a lot more intimate. We're going to get on calls every week, like Zoom calls. So we're all kind of going through our struggles. You're telling me experiences you have. We're going to walk through them. I'm going to do video audits of you teaching your classes, all that good stuff. Like it's going to be really intensive and really, really good if you want to totally get better as an instructor, especially people who are newer within their first year or so. Amber, I can't see your comment. Hang on. What does that say? Oh, okay, that is fine. As long as we still get some of you. Thanks, Amber. And Amber, especially for you, I'm going to make some of those new topics, and I'm curious your thoughts, but I'm going to make some of those new monthly topics related to owners and managers. I know there are a few of you out there, and I would love to talk a little bit more about that, especially for those of you who are considering someday starting your own studio, because I know there's some of you out there. So don't worry, there will still be trainings and stuff, but if you're someone who needs a little bit more individual help, like someone who's been, for example, messaging me a lot of questions or emailing me questions. We will no longer do that in this group. So I need to make that clear, because like I said, I've been doing you guys a disservice by answering these questions too generally, too broadly, and it's not really fun for me if I don't know where you're coming from, because I can't answer it the best that I can, and it's not going to be as helpful for you. So if you want that individualized help, the group, click the link in the comments. I just dropped it in there. You can check it out. I already have a few people. I'm really pumped. It's going to start right away, so if you're interested, do it now. We're going to get going. I've already started doing it, so it's, anyways, diving in deep. But that being said, I am going to answer some of the questions that I got this week. I only have time for a couple of them since I've been explaining all this, but let me talk through a couple questions that we got. That'll be our last Herner Happy Hour as it is today, as it stands today, going forward. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll theme the trainings that I talk about. So each Thursday will be, I'll do like the first Thursday of the month is maybe new instructor questions. Second Thursday, maybe like music, cueing, coaching. Third, instructor challenges. So, you know, rogue riders, filling your classes, that sort of stuff. And then the fourth one I'm thinking will be mindset related. But these are subject to change. I'll see how you guys like them, and, you know, based on what I come up with, what I talk about, if you're interested. But that's what I'm thinking. So anyways, let me dive into our very last Herner Happy Hour questions. And again, I will still answer these in the other group, so don't worry if you want that. So Ivana asked, she said she has an audition, and she wants to know, one of the top points that they look in new coaches is to make connections with riders. Okay, so this is such a good question. She said, Ivana said, and I hope I'm saying your name right, Ivana, that she usually learns names, but like, what else can you do to connect? Awesome question, because this is, the fact that you're even thinking to ask that is so huge. I can't tell you how many times I see an instructor get up there and we've talked about this in here before, so you can go look at old Herner Happy Hours. Those will still be up for you guys if you want them on YouTube. But I see people go robot, right? They just start shouting out numbers and, you know, cues that are very fake kind of sounding, little canned, right? Because you get nervous and those are like your go-to cues. So connecting with riders, yes, important. Meet them beforehand, get to know their names, check in with them afterwards, huge. But during your ride, there will be places, and you don't want to do this all the time, but there will be places in your ride where you can throw in something personal. So you can talk a little bit about yourself. So we usually have, my foot's falling asleep. Sorry, guys. We usually have a spot in our ride where things slow down. They get a little bit of recovery towards the end, right before a couple final pushes. And it's usually a slower song, a nice little jog out of the saddle. And we focus on, you know, the mindset piece. We focus on exercising the mind and taking a break from the physical while they're still in active recovery. That is a perfect time to throw in a little inspiration. And I find that the inspiration sounds way less fake and shitty, to be honest, if it's really personal. So and I don't have to share my personal stuff. I honestly tend to, because it's a safe space for me and people appreciate when you're open like that, and it can be totally vulnerable. I get it. But you know, my stepmom passing, a lot of my riders know about that. And so I'll reference that and I'll say, you know, going through struggles like that is really difficult. Seeing family struggling yourself. And we come in here and we take care of ourselves. We take care of our bodies. We do one little thing to start our day in the right direction, and we hold on to that positive energy and we keep it going. I'll say something like that. I totally just made that up. But you'll pull from the personal and they'll connect with you on that level. Because if you make it broad enough, so I'll get specific on what my struggle is, but then I'll broaden it. You know, we're all struggling. We've all lost someone. We're all, you know, whatever. So you connect with them in that way because they can feel what you're feeling. Does that make sense? So it takes some practice, and it's really about finding the spots in your ride where that fits, and it doesn't sound super, you know, forced, if you will. So something that helps me do this is to find a song that's really speaking to you right now in this moment. Whatever you're going through in your life, if there's a song that when it comes on, it just makes you feel stronger, it gives you the energy you need to get yourself out of that place. Or if you're in a really good place right now, maybe it gives you that energy to, or allows yourself to show that positive energy, and it really just brightens you up. So find a song that triggers that. Find a place where you can bring up that personal story and you make that connection that way. So the connection is really just like, how can we show that we're human? How can we show that we're just like the person riding in front of us? How can we connect with them? How can they feel like, oh yeah, I get her. I get her. I want to listen to her. I want her to take me on this ride because I trust her. I get her. So hopefully that helped, Ivana. I know that it's hard to get to that point. I think that's one of the toughest things about being an instructor, because especially newer people, I don't know how new you are, but newer people tend to freeze. And when they do that, the robot comes on. And it gets hard to get comfortable enough to share this kind of stuff. But it takes practice. You'll get there. Just maybe plan it a little bit and pick a song that will help that come out. So I hope that was helpful. Matthew, you asked a question about, or a couple questions. One of them was the best way to build a following. So I've answered this before, and I don't really have time to go into too much detail here. And hopefully you're joining me in the Cycle Circle Champions, so I will answer it there in more specifics. But we'll have to talk through kind of, I need a little bit more information on you and the place that you're going to teach, and we can talk about that. Oh, and guys, okay, so I also had a bunch of questions on power. Shocker, you guys love to talk about power. I will at some point do a training on those. So if you're in my Cycle Circle Champions, we can absolutely talk about that as soon as we have our first call. Everyone else, I'm going to try to, again, I'm still going to keep Herner Happy Hours to, even with this new training format, 15 to 30 minutes. So I can't talk about power at length in that. So maybe we'll do like series or something, or I'll just pick one topic within power and talk about that. But we will talk about it. I promise you that. Cool. Okay. I think that was it for now, at least in terms of questions I can answer on Herner Happy Hour. So just a reminder for you guys, Herner Happy Hour changing format, no more Q&A. Can't do that anymore. I need to hear more to be able to answer these questions right. So if you want to have that, you can still have it. Cycle Circle Champions, it's in the comments. Check it out. If you have any questions at all, email me, message me. You know I'm always there for you. And Herner Happy Hour will now be trainings, so weekly trainings. So if you didn't watch this whole video, when the recording's up, go back, watch it, make sure you listen to it. Lots of things are changing in here. I want to make sure you guys are up to date. And again, the Cycle Circle Champions, I'm probably going to keep that group really small. I want it to be intimate. I want us to be able to grow together. I want to really like coach you and get to know your style and get to know how you teach. So if that's something you're interested in, just make sure you check it out sooner rather than later, because I will cut probably after just a few people join. So anyways, I hope you guys are excited about these changes, because I sure am. If you have, again, any questions, please let me know. And I think that's it. I need to go shower because I smell like a dead dog. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.